This is Wall Street Examiner Fast Facts on the web at wallstreetexaminer.com. It is June 18, 2014. I'm Lee Adler. Here's something I missed back in May that makes me mad as hell. And it should make you mad as hell too. The Fed has expanded its term deposit operations, moving more spaghetti around on the plate. The plate being the liability side of its balance sheet, also known as money. The Fed announced that it would do 8 weekly operations with its member banks beginning on May 19th. The first 4 were at approximately 26 basis points, then the next 4 at 30 basis points. These deposits are like bank CDs with a term of 7 days. This is a direct giveaway to the banks at the expense of U.S. taxpayers. Subject to the $10 billion per bank limit, the banks will shift as much of their excess cash as they can from their regular deposit accounts at the Fed to these higher interest-paying term deposits. This is cash the Fed has given them for free in the first place. Earn free money from free income. Nice work if you can get it. Last week, those term deposits grew by $16 billion on the Fed's balance sheet from an operation conducted June 2nd. That's just a drop in the bucket compared to what's coming. The June 9th operation shifted $78 billion into these giveaways. Meanwhile, the Fed will continue to send them more free cash week in and week out under QE, even though those amounts are somewhat reduced. The trick there is that the taper does not reduce the excess cash the dealers get because the Fed has been matching QE to Treasury supply. This transfer will have absolutely no impact on the Fed's balance sheet or the primary dealer balance sheets. There are still short-term liabilities to the Fed and short-term assets of the banks. To the banks, there's no practical difference between their regular deposits at the Fed and a 1-week term deposit. It's all excess liquidity which can be used for mischief making whenever they damn well please. The only impact will be that the additional free income the Fed now literally hands over to the banks will increase the banks' bottom lines. This cash will subsequently be transferred to the pockets of bank CEOs and executives in the form of increased bonuses and stock option buybacks. These payments reduce the surplus that the Fed returns to the Treasury each month. The $78 billion of these term deposits, which the Fed issued last week, will show up on the H41 weekly Fed statement to be published this Thursday. The interest paid to the banks on that will come right out of taxpayers' pockets. It's just more welfare for the banksters at our expense. Another outrage? This story has gotten virtually no coverage in the mainstream media. Either the Fed snuck this past them, or the media just does not care. I suspect the latter. Here's breaking news. This week's facility was just posted. It grew to $93 billion. More money for nothing. A gift to the banks from taxpayers. The greatest transfer of wealth in history goes on. This Wall Street Examiner Fast Facts has been brought to you by the Wall Street Examiner Professional Edition, focused on the analysis of macro liquidity and market cycles for professional investors, traders, and sophisticated individual investors. Try it risk-free for 30 days at wallstreetexaminer.com. Get the facts. wallstreetexaminer.com.